Good morning, tubers, family and friends. Another beautiful morning here out in the deep jungle of the Philippines on Mindanao Island, northwestern part. Here this morning with my lovely bride. Oh, she has a
He's trying to say good to me this morning because today should be beach time, but he said it's gonna be bad weather, and then I see around the sun it's out so much. Oh my God! Oh,
well, the weather's been so bad. I mean, for a dry season in 10 years that I've been here, this is the worst dry season I've ever seen. I mean, usually from March through like August, I mean, it's like probably 70 to 80% beautiful weather. And this year so far, and it's into June right now, and it's been terrible. We've probably had maybe 3 weeks in 4 months of good weather. It's been really bad. So here's John. Good morning, John. Yeah, he's in a good mood today. He's been swimming and walking every day.
maybe he wants my bread.
Yeah, he looks like he likes meat. Well, he eats almost anything. Looks like the queen is making the thick cut bacon. We found this thick cut bacon at the Atrium grocery store there in Polo City here about 2-3 months ago, and man, this stuff is good. It's by Pure Foods, thick cut bacon. This is probably the best thick cut bacon that I've ever bought, even in the U.S. So, and it's I think it's 400 pesos per package. And how many kilo is this, hon? Because I'm sure it says 500 kilo or 500 grams, not kilo, 500 grams. So yeah, very good. If you guys should look for that. I know Americanos really love bacon, and usually I stay away from pork, but as long as it's cured, any pork that's cured well with salt, because salt was given to us by God for a purifier. So it takes out any bad that can be in it. That's what salt does for you. And you should read the history on salt, not only world history and ancient history, but biblical history on salt. It's really a awesome subject. So yeah, I just been power washing. I've been power washing all the roofs here at the homestead because it's so terrible with all the rain. You get this black. See how it's black on the driveway. I'm going to power wash this driveway again next. I've already done it once in the late March, and now it's June, and look at how bad it is already. Usually I only do power wash twice a year, but this year probably going to be 3 times. I'm probably going to do an epoxy paint on this probably sometime here in the next year or so, just to help not have, you know how concrete's so rough and that stuff just impermeates down in there. So if we get an epoxy paint, like people do in their driveways and their garages and stuff in the U.S., then it's be a lot more easier for maintenance. So yeah, just sitting by coffee, having my coffee here, poolside. Just we went actually to the Polo yesterday in the city. We did our remittance. We have a remittance twice a month, and we get our stocks of food there in the Polo. So we bought all our bacon, our frozen foods, and anything that we needed there. We got that for it should last anywhere from 1 week as far as the fruits go, fruits and vegetables, 1 week to 4 weeks. And bread, if we get any bread, we sliced bread, we put it in the freezer now. And you just pull it out anytime you want. Otherwise, your bread's gonna mold up in probably 4 to 7 days, right? So you keep it in the freezer and it stays fresh. So yeah, I'm just kicking back here today. It's kind of gonna be a lazy day for the rest of the day. We almost went to the beach this morning. Usually we go to the beach in April or May, but the weather's been so bad we haven't even gone this year. We almost did this morning. I mean, but you know, you have so many people in a household, and people have, you know, it's hard to coordinate best time for everyone to get together. And the school's starting here this next Monday for public school, so that involves one child that we have here, my sister-in-law's youngest daughter. This is her last year of high school. Then my son, my 5-year-old, goes and starts K2 here the following Monday. So we'll see. His school got postponed 2 weeks for some reason. I don't know what their deal is. It's been crazy since COVID here with schools. They've been changing the scheduling for schools for 3 years now, trying to get, you know, a good standard. And in my experience here in the Philippines with not only government workers but teachers, I mean, they're gone half the time. They take time off all the time for these conferences, and they travel around the Philippines and do this time off conferences and stuff. And all the professions here in the Philippines that are permanent professions, like medical profession, education professions, and the government professions, they are on the most lackadaisical schedules that I've ever seen, you know, compared to anywhere in the world. And it's crazy. Most of the time they're not even, you know, on the job, basically. And that's another thing. Yesterday was the Independence Day for the Philippines, which, if you look through history, that's the day that the U.S. purchased, that's the day that the Philippines originally from Spain got independence, but then it was under the rule of the U.S. And the U.S. in 1946 gave them independence on July 4th, which matched exactly the Independence Day of the U.S. So the Philippines in later years didn't like that being matched up with the U.S., so they changed it back to June 12th, which was the original independence from Spain. So anyways, yeah, and so we go into Dipolog, and all the government agencies are closed, and some even private businesses are closed. We wanted to pay the water bill. That was closed in the municipality because all the governments, they get off on any kind of a holiday whatsoever. All the government's off, right? And that includes government banks. So, and most of the banks were closed yesterday too. There was ATMs were open, but we don't use ATMs anyways. If you use ATMs, it's a crapshoot whether they're gonna have any money in them, whether they're broken or not, whether they're open or not, or whether you're gonna get scammed when you're, you know, from a scam reader that someone's installed in an ATM or something. Your best bet is to stay far away from ATMs if you don't want to get scammed or be disappointed that you can't get your money. So the remittances through Zoom and Wise at any of the pawn shops. Pawn shops are, even on a lot of the holidays, the pawn shops are always open. So just a tip and heads up on that. So what's going on in the U.S., it's crazy, crazy, crazy. I was talking to one of my buddies yesterday that I met here. He married a Filipino just like I did and lives in the same barangay area. And he was flying back and forth to the U.S. these last 5 years or so, but now, after he's retired, right? But now it's gotten so bad, and the expenses and all the insurance requirements and the craziness of riots and everything that's going on that's so crazy in the U.S. He sold everything he had, and he actually spent most of his life in the Northwest, Seattle area of the U.S., but then he moved to Florida because it's, a lot of things are advantageous about Florida, not only the weather, but there's no property tax now anymore, and there's a lot of good things there. There's no state tax there in Florida, but it's even gotten so bad there, they sold everything, and now they're here in the Philippines permanent. So there's him and one other guy I know that did the same thing. They're pretty much permanent in the Philippines now because there's no insurance required, no divorce, no, well, if your Filipina has U.S. citizenship, they can still divorce you. So don't let your Filipina gets U.S. citizenship, because if for any reason you move back here to the Philippines and they don't like living in the Philippines and they want all the comforts of the U.S., that they can head back anytime they want. So citizenship is an ex nix nay, if you get my meaning, because at any drop of the hat they can just get pissed off and go back to the U.S. and divorce you. So my advice is, because not it's all women, at any time they can change their minds, but
I love this story.
yeah, I know you do. So, they are Filipinas are passionate in everything they do. I've explained this to you guys before. So if you if you touch them off wrong, they'll get pissed, and you don't know what they're going to do. I mean, there's even lots of expats that got killed by their Filipinas because they grabbed a knife out of rage and stabbed them to death. Since I've been here in 10 years, there's been several of those murder cases where your Filipina, you pissed her off too much, and because they're so passionate with their emotions in every way, they got their expat husbands or boyfriends got killed. So this stuff can happen, and sure, it can happen everywhere, but I'm just saying the biggest difference that I've seen from American women compared to Filipinas is that their immediate passions are very high level. So be cognizant of that. So it can be both good and bad. So you just watch your P's and Q's. But you gotta stand your ground. You gotta be the man. God designed us man and woman, and we all have our roles to play. Don't let the world tell you one thing. And thank God that the Philippine government is going by God's rules more than man's rules as far as that. That's why there's no divorce in the Philippines. That's why the Philippines Constitution prohibits divorce, because it absolutely protects the family in every way. And even if you guys want to get, a married couple want to get an annulment, it's anywhere from 5 to 15 years before you can get an annulment, and you got to spend lots of money and lots of wasted time to try to get one. So, the legal system, the government, everything does everything in their power to drag their feet, which is most things in the Philippines. Anyways, they drag their feet on almost everything, right? It's called Filipino time, and that's the truth, and really is the truth regarding annulments. So annulments is pretty much out the window, and they can't force an annulment on you. Like even one party in a divorce in the U.S., if one of the two wants a divorce, they can force the divorce on the other party. Well, in the Philippines, if you want to get an annulment, both people have to sign, right? If one person not going to sign, your annulment's never going to happen. So that's the law in the Philippines. So God bless the Philippines. I love the Philippines for all those reasons. Why? Because it's the way God designed man and woman to be. And just read your Bible. I mean, the history is unbelievable. It's awesome. And even the Muslim religions, and regarding all of that, I absolutely agree with it. As far as the role of the man and the woman, and in many cases throughout biblical history and in the Quran and all that, right? It's that the man, he may have a harem of women, right? And it's only because that man is wealthy and successful, and his wife or wives
have made him more and more successful because they support him in what he's doing to run his household, to run his family, to run his businesses. The woman is in total support to the man, and that's why God created the woman to help the man. She is a help mate. Read your Bible. It's all clear and black and white in there, guys. The woman is made not from God. The woman is made by God from man, the rib of a man, right? It's all so clear. And anyone that thinks any different is blind to the truth of history. That's right. And the only way you can get away from the truth of history is if you think what's written in the Bible is a lie or fake, which many people think that that's a lie, is a lie and a fake. Well, I don't. I think ancient biblical history is backed up by so many other Sumerian texts, Dead Sea Scrolls, the Book of Enoch. I mean, there's so many documented ancient historical documents and texts that back all the, all the Bible, the Quran, all this stuff is all backed up, guys, and it's ancient history. Modern man come in and they say, "Oh no, that's all bull," because we want you to screw up and be dependent upon governments and all this other stuff. So it's just common sense, guys. Common sense. So read your history. If you don't believe in all that stuff, read your history. And all this women's feminine movement and stuff in the Western countries of the world, that's all satanic. All that stuff is satanic. Anything that's against what the ancient historical laws of relationships between the man and the woman, anything against that is all satanic, because what does Satan want to do? Destroy families, destroy men, women, and children. Satan wants to destroy all that, guys. And that's what is going on in the world. That's why it's so crazy and terrible. If Trump wants to do something good for the country of the U.S., he needs to get rid of the divorce laws and start from the core of what makes a country great. What makes a country great is the core of the family. And with divorce in the U.S., the country of the U.S. is going to continue to be destroyed. And like it is right now, it's so bad, it's unbelievable. And the second most important thing is money and the right of ownership. The legal system and fake fiat money has made the U.S. destroyed now, and it's continuing to be destroyed. Just look at the facts. Look at the trillions in debt. Look at everything. The failure of the families. Because of the almighty daughter, there's so much autism in the world because the medical industry is doing crazy things to kill people. I mean, it's just a fact. Look at the facts and the numbers and the statistics of what's going on. And the only place that I see that's a sanctuary from that crazy what's going on in the Western countries now, getting back to what the ancient history says in the countries that go by the ancient histories that don't have nuclear weapons. If those countries have nuclear weapons, they're going to get wiped out. Eventually, the nukes are going to fly, and people that have nukes are going to get nuked. That's a guarantee. Eventually, it's going to happen. So, Philippines don't have nukes, come to the Philippines. It's your best bet. In all my research and what I see, that's why I'm here. That's why I sold everything I had in the U.S. and came here and started my third family, because I've been duped, lied to, deceived my entire life. And what I was taught that was golden and the American dream and all that, majority of it was a lie. And because of the laws, divorce laws and laws in the Philippines in the U.S. that forces you to do things, it's become a police state, and forces you to have insurance, forces you to obey the medical industry, it forces you to do so many things that just destroys the man, which destroys the entire family, which just then destroys the country. That's what's going on in the U.S. and most of the Western nations. So my advice, which this is just for entertainment channel, and this is just what I've done, is come to the Philippines. And like I said at the beginning of this video, there's a lot of expats from the U.S. and a lot of other countries coming to the Philippines for the reasons that I've just quoted, because they're tired of it. They're tired of being destroyed and being screwed over and from these other countries and their laws. And the women have been empowered to destroy all that, right? And the only woman that's left in the Western world that is a real deep-seated faith in God, those women are the only ones left that choose to not obey the world and not obey the government and not obey the divorce laws and finds a good man. Those are the only women that are left in these Western countries. But at any time, Satan could turn those women, and because of the laws, the divorce laws and everything there, they can still destroy, because that option is always there. Where in the Philippines, that option does not exist. So that way, your whole life, you know that you're going to be okay, and you can grow your family, care your family, grow your children, everything here, and maintain that until you're dead. That's what's going on in the Philippines. And all these people say, oh, this and that's going to happen. There's going to be divorce in the Philippines. No, there's not going to be divorce in the Philippines, because they'd have to change the constitution of the country, which is not easy to do. If you know anything about constitutional amendments, it takes 2/3 majority of the House and the Senate, and the President has to sign it. And I think they even have to jump through more hoops, constitutional inquiries and all this. I mean, it takes a lot of work to get something like that passed through. So anyways, just my 2 cents, guys. And just please put in the comments if you got any questions about gun laws in the Philippines. I mean, I'm boots on the ground here with my homestead here over 10 years now, married to a Filipina, have half children, Filipino children, and my youngest that I have, that's half, just got his U.S. passport and certificate of birth abroad and all that, and that's going to allow me to even triple to quadruple my Social Security benefits if Social Security Ponzi scheme doesn't end in the future here, which it will, but who knows when, right? So anyways, God bless you all, and I thank you so much for watching, subscribing, and liking my channel. I seriously hope you'll come back and subscribe to my channel. I thank you from the bottom of my heart, and please think about all the things I just said. Get out of a nuclear country, get out of a country that destroys families, and come to the Philippines. God bless the Philippines, and thank you so much, and God bless you all. See you later. Bye-bye.